Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning Black People with Morgan Reese, and I am your host, Morgan Reese. I have a treat for everyone. I have the amazing, the brilliant talent from the other side of our world, London, England's own Ava N James. She's a coach. She's a life coach. She's an author, and she's also a motivational speaker. So, guys, join me now as I welcome Ava N James to my show today, guys. I am great again, everyone. Welcome to my show. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Good Morning Black People with Morgan Reese. And I'm your fantastic host, Morgan Reese. And guys, I am introducing you guys Ava N James. She is an author, a life coach, a motivational speaker, all the way from London, England. The UK, guys. Look at God. Won't he do it? Welcome to the show again, Ava. Thank you again for taking out
Thank
the
you.
time to join my show. I really appreciate it. Um, I've already given you a brief introduction. It's time for me to stop talking. Go in, girlfriend. Tell us all about who you are, how you became an author, what book you wrote, or what um, products you have wrote, and how did you end up being from where you at now to where you are now.
Wow, well, that's a long journey, but I think writing is one of my passions. And so I sort of started my journey of writing probably younger in my life, but at a time where I probably went through a lot of setbacks, and writing was quite therapeutic, and it helped me to heal through that phase in my life. And so from that, I've written actually 7 publications to date, and you can find them on Amazon under Ava N James. But yeah, I think a lot of it was my inspirational journey, which is my faith that has brought me this far. And I think that's the amazing part, because if it hadn't been for my faith in God, I don't think I would have come to where I am today. But yeah, I think now I just love to help women. I'm passionate about seeing the potential in others and helping them to regain their sort of life balance and build resilience so that they can make an impact in their world.
Awesome, awesome. Well, you said the first thing, if it wasn't for God, because God wouldn't, if we wouldn't, if it wasn't for Him, we wouldn't be where are right now. No matter what all of our struggles are, and we all have a story, we all have a journey, and for you to say that first, that's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
Since sliced bread. So I have watched you on Instagram, and you really are big in motivating people, especially women. I heard some of your things that you've done, and to me, that's an amazing thing because you're in a totally different country than when you're in the U.S. Have you ever been to the U.S.?
No, I haven't.
And
Not
I
yet.
haven't been. I haven't been to the UK. I'm working on it. That's one of my travel places. That's one of my travel places. So that's on my bucket list. I got to get to the UK.
Yeah,
I do want
definitely.
to say, I always say this to anyone that I've met. I love you guys and ladies' accent. It sounds so unique, sounds
Yeah,
so refined, and so eloquently. Of course, we know Idris Elba is from the UK as well, but he
yeah.
used more of his American accent than he does his British side. So, um, what can you name some of the publications that you have written that when they start looking for you on Amazon, how can they be able to find it? I know it's under your name, which I love how you did your name where everyone says, well, there's a lot of Ava James, because of course there's a lot of Ava James, but there's only one Ava N James.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I think my most recent book was I've written a poetry collection, and one of it is called "The Dance of My Heart," and that's a selection of Christian poems actually. So that's really interesting. I've also written a book on leadership, how to be a leader who an inspirer who leads,
Mm.
which is a take on how to be that inspiration and lead with your heart and have that compassion and empathy for others rather than, you know, so doing it by example rather than pushing people in the wrong direction. So yeah, that's one of my books. And then I've also written one on grief called Grief So Abrupt, and that's taken from some of my own personal experiences. And yeah, I think it was an interesting book because I think grief will affect us in many areas of our lives. And then I have written a few on brokenness and loss. So one is Nose to Self, moving from loss and brokenness to wholeness again, and Beyond the Horizon, which is an inspirational journey through heartbreak. And then I've also written two prayer books for praying for my future husband and becoming a wife because, yeah, that's exactly what happens. I think when you hand your story to the author of life, he can write the best love story.
I like that. Praying for your husband and then praying how to be a good wife. Man, a lot of us in the U.S. can take some of those chapters, including myself. Including myself. Wow. So you say you're a poet. So I got to get you to say something. I need you to read one of your poems. I need you to go ahead and put it out there so the world can hear you and hear you share one of your poems because you never know, it may inspire someone, it may motivate someone else. And the publications you wrote so far about grief, it seems like people are starting to acknowledge that more during COVID, or when COVID first hit. People didn't realize how much pain exists, how much loss happened, and how many people are still grieving. Here we are years past COVID, but people were grieving prior to COVID. So, how do you, in your publication that you put out, can you give us an example of how a person can overcome the grief that they have, the loss that they have? Because you have several different types of grief. And then I want you to go ahead and give us a poem.
Okay, I'll do the poem, but I'll start off with the grief one. So I think, yeah, the grief one came because I think I lost my grandma, and it was a difficult time. But I also wanted to celebrate her life because she became the first centurion in our family, and so it was celebrating those 100 years that she had been a inspiration to her children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, and great great grandchildren. And so I think I just felt that that was my tribute to her because it's the book is actually called Grief So Abrupt, Finding Your Way from the Darkness Towards the Light. And it was just my tribute to her life because if we think about it, looking back, just going back to the Bible because this was a Christian based book. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob has been or had been her portion and strength right until the very end. And so we just, I just wanted to give her some of the what is it esteem, hold her in esteem for the 5 generations that she had nurtured so lovingly through her time with us on this earth. And I think, a lot of times in grief we can forget that we are alone, but I don't think we really are alone because we have the God who can comfort us through that time of our life. And so for me, I just wanted to share how I felt so that I hoped that it would encourage other people. So yeah, I think it's a poetic book, but it's also my own personal journey. So I would recommend it, not only because I've written it, but because I did have the honor of having the foreword of my book written by a very dear friend who has now gone to eternity, but had shared this with our life story too. So yeah, that was really the inspiration for writing that book. But I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because everyone's journey through grief is different, and some people will write in a different way. But I wanted to bring through a lot of the characteristics of poetry and a tribute into one. So yeah, I mean that would be a great book if you wanted to have a look and check it out.
Oh, definitely. I definitely would add that to my list of other amazing publications,
Yeah.
especially on grief, because I lost my dad 2 years ago. So I'm still on that journey in some form, some fashion, some parts of ways. Learning more about him, of course. As someone said, you never you never really stop grieving, but you do. You start the healing process once you get over the grieving process. So I'm at a place where I'm in the healing process because I've done the grief. I don't cry and boohoo like I used to when he first passed because of we had a lot of had a different journey. But now I'm on the healing process, so I definitely understand that. So I would like for you to share one of your poems, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. So I think I wrote two in the collection of poetry. There were two books, The Hurting Heart and The Dance of My Heart. But I think The Dance of My Heart was, again, just a collection of poems because I felt that sometimes we forget, and it is a Christian poetry book, so the other one is more generic and just self-help. I think it was just finding your perspective, turning your expectations and centering them on God, and then just finding, the love that he has for us in him. So I think one of them is called, and I'll tell you the name of the poem, is called I Am Love.
Mm.
And I'm going to read it to you. I am love. Daily I shower you with patience and kindness, not the kind that comes from a heart of jealousy or arrogance, but from a heart that desires you to love all of me. My love does not rejoice in unrighteousness, but in the truth. My love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. My love never fails. With my love, I purchased you, I pardoned you, I redeemed you, I sustained you. Let me control your heart with my love so that others are captured by my love through you, so that others will long for my life altering touch.
Wow. I'm speechless. Ava, okay. I'm speechless. And
Which,
Morgan's not speechless that often. That hit my heart right there. That hit my soul. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna purchase your book. Wow. That was very impactful, Ava. Man. Okay, I gotta get myself together. I gotta get myself together. That really pulled at the heartstrings right there, Ava. Wow. That's an amazing, amazing poem. But this year, I have a slogan. 2023 is all about me. So for 2023, it's all about who?
you,
No, you. You're sharing something that's really impactful, really motivational, not just to women, but to men as well. But this year is going to be the year for you as well, because as you're sharing grief or you're sharing poems of healing and all that, you're going to be healing it the same way. It's going to be your journey at the same time. So it's not just going to be your motivation to inspire others, it's going to help you as well. And with that poem you just shared, wow. Now, again, I'm speechless. That was an amazing, heartfelt, because I'm really big on the heart. I'm really big on the heart. Um, I call my fiance my heart puller because that's how he got me. So that I'm really, really big on how a person shares their heart, their true intentions of their real heart with another person. And wow, that's I love that poem. So Ava, how can they find you? Where can you please tell us the social media platform that you're on, so how they can find you, where they can purchase your books at? Can you share that information with us?
Yeah, no, absolutely, I can. I think I'm on all social media platforms. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on TikTok. But yeah, I mean, it's Ava N James. So I am Ava N James is Instagram. And on LinkedIn, it's just Ava N James. And on YouTube, it's Ava James Inspo Girl. But yeah, I think I am just happy to meet people and connect, because I think the greatest part of us having connections with other people is to talk the way we're talking now, and just get to know people first. So I just love meeting people and having conversations and being from different parts of the world. It doesn't matter where we're from, there's just that unique bond if we connect in the same sort of sphere of motivating and inspiring others. So yeah, it'd be lovely to connect with people on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. Yeah, it'd be lovely.
Well, that's how I found you. I went and searched you on all those platforms, and um, you have a story. You definitely have an impactful um, energy about yourself, where
Thank
you're
you.
going to help not just myself but others. As long as I said it's helping you. So, if you have one more thing that you can share with the world, something that is going to inspire them, that's going to motivate them, that they can take that trinket with them as they go through their life journey of life, their chapters of life, because all of us have chapters. We are all authors of our own book, especially now if you overcame certain things. But if you have anything you would like to share with the world that would motivate and inspire them, what would you like to share?
Yeah, so absolutely. So I think, I shared a bit with you, and I think this is my motivation and passion at the moment is finding that life balance, because I think we've all been through a really tough time with the pandemic, with the changes in the world, everything going virtual. And although it's opened up so many opportunities, like we can be face to face in a virtual way, and we don't have to see each other in person, it's also given a lot of people that issue of they've not had the time to think, feel, and behave in a certain way. And so my aim is to help women to think about their goals and then reflect on the experiences so that they can enjoy life and flourish in their relationships. And sometimes I think it's the fact that we don't have time to feel, because we just simply cannot relax or focus on one task, because we're always rushing around, and we never seem to have that quality time that we can take with our family and friends, or even in hobbies or interests. And sometimes we end up wandering, I think, down the wrong path, and it's so much harder to get back on track. And so, I'm all about trying to help women transfer the way they think and feel so that their behavior changes. And it's not about me saying you should do this, but it's about that coaching where you come into the room and you feel like you work with a client, and then they go away with that transformation, and they feel like, wow, I've had this aha moment. And you're not going to neglect yourself anymore, and you're going to think about how well-being is so important, because no matter how much we do in our work, we still have to take care of ourselves in order to be able to flourish in life. And so I think that's the most important thing that we can do. And I love quotes, and one of my favorite quotes that I love 100% is by Maya Angelou. And I'm just trying to remember the quote to share it with you, because it's it talks about not only just coming into something, thinking about, she always talks about, I think she always, Maya Angelou always spoke about how much you say to people doesn't matter. It's how you make them feel. And so I think that if we are going to achieve that balance in our life, then we need to be doing everything we can to inspire people through what we say and how we make them feel.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Because as I always say, actions speak louder than your words. But then if your words are in a positive, a calm meaning, then your action is going to automatically follow no matter what, because you have a true intent when you open your mouth and you're speaking out things. And Maya Angelou, rest in peace, she was a very impactful, strong, powerful woman beyond her years. She left so much for us, and she's definitely a good footprint for mostly us women to follow behind and build us up as we move forward into our next generation or our next decade of however long God allows us to be on this earth. So yeah, you're right. Right. It's all about, because they say it's the power in the tongue.
It
The tongue
is.
is sharper than a knife, and you're like, how is my tongue sharp? Because it's the words that come out of your mouth and how you say it, and when you're
Yeah.
sharing it with others, you can hurt someone, or you can heal someone, or you can help someone.
Yeah.
So
And
wow.
I love this quote by her, which I think is so appropriate. She said, "My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do it with some passion, some compassion, some humor and style." And that was her, wasn't it?
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes, yes, I remember that one. Man, yeah, yeah. You, whatever you pour in is what you're gonna get back.
Yeah.
And you seem like you're pouring out because you are. I've watched a lot of the things that you posted, and you are definitely motivational and impactful, and you definitely have inspired me. And this year, 2023, is not just about me, Ava. It's also about you as well. And as
Thank
I
you.
always ask people, I would like to know if one time I can bring you back on again. After you finish your next publication, because I know you got a couple more in there, and I would definitely love to have you back on my show, if you don't mind. Would you like to come back? I know you're in a totally different time zone, but look, guys, look what God does. What time is it? Where you at right now?
It's 9:30 in the evening.
9:30 at night, and it's 4:30 here in the U.S.
Yeah.
And we were trying to coordinate this interview for the longest, and we finally got a time that works out. So I promise you, guys allow things to happen where it's supposed to happen on purpose. Yes. Well, I would
Yeah.
like to again welcome you and thank you for joining my show, Abra. I really appreciate you taking up the time out of your busy schedule and your time schedule,
Yeah. Thank
because I
you.
know that was a lot for you to have to make sure everything was balanced at the right appropriate time. Guys, girls, ladies, gents, divas, handsome men, follow this young lady, Ava N James. She's on Facebook, Instagram, she's on LinkedIn, she's on YouTube. She's a coach, a motivational speaker, a life coach, an author, and she's an amazing poetess. She's an amazing poetess.
Thank you so
And
much.
guys, I really appreciate you for joining my show and watching this. Please
Yeah.
share with your friends and family in the other countries, guys. I'm talking to somebody from London. And thank you again for joining my show, Ava. Thank you again, guys, for watching the show. Again, this is Good Morning Black People with Morgan Reese. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Where she's at, it's nighttime. It's afternoon for us. You guys, welcome to my show again. Thank you for watching. I am Morgan Reese, and I look forward for you guys to come back and see me on my next interview. Have an amazing, wonderful day, a wonderful Wednesday. Be safe and be blessed.